About 2 to 3 years in, I was really studying street photographers in general, just constantly picking up photo books. And one person that really came to mind who really started motivating me was Bruce Gilden. His work for me was just like very eye-catching, very different, and it just made me so excited to get out and shoot. What's going on, everybody? I'm James Steppenwolf Hernandez. I'm a street documentary photographer, currently based in Cincinnati. I'm originally from El Paso, Texas. I've been photographing now since 2016. It's just been one hell of a journey, actually. When I was photographing in 2016, I was currently living in San Antonio. Kind of went broke for my first camera, but before I even picked up a camera, I was really actually just kind of like diving into photo books. I was just coming across like 1960s protest, like the 70s, 80s area of like New York City, and it was just really catching my eye. I was really excited about it, and this was before I even touched a camera. I even thought about buying one, but it was like this feeling of this was something that I really wanted to get into. And when I was just opening up these photo books, nobody was really catching my eye until I was like, well, what do these guys do, basically? But also it was just kind of like a lost time in my life. I was super young. Going into that, so I picked up this book by Lindsay Addario, and she's a photojournalist. She's a Pulitzer Prize photojournalist, and she came out with this book, It's What I Do. And I just picked it up and I got really into like what she was doing, and a woman basically inspired me to pick up a camera and go out there and get stories and chase subjects. But she really focused in on what happened after 9/11 and went to Afghanistan and did all this beautiful work that was just so fascinating to me, and I was like, I really want to get into this. So eventually I just ended up getting my first camera and kind of went from there. So I cover protests, events. I do a lot of street photography. That's where like my main heart lies, going out there. And I love shooting corners. I love the busyness of traffic of like corporate America. It's amazing how far you can come, even from my early years in photography, where my photos are very simple and plain, but it's just nice to see like where it's come now. And it just really motivates me, and I have a lot of passion for what I do, especially covering events and the photojournalistic world. How I really started putting photojournalism into my life was going out there and I was photographing the homeless subjects. And they were also very engaging in San Antonio and Dallas. They were just constantly like giving me work, constantly giving me stories about themselves and who they were and their past, their history, and what's happening right now, current state in America with all this poverty going around. And then eventually I turned this into photojournalism, but just going out there doing street photography and just walking around, and eventually just life kind of happened in my face, and it was such an amazing feeling. From what it is now, I take it a lot more seriously, but back then it was so fresh and it was new, and it was just very organic. And now there's just like this a little bit of pressure, which I always like, but it's just gonna be with me. Photojournalism with street photography is always gonna be with me. Currently, right now, I'm using a Lumix GX85, a little bit of a smaller body. It's an older camera. I use a 14mm right now just to go out and photograph my work. I originally was using a Canon 60 Mark II. We've just gone so far in the photo industry that I don't really need to carry a big body like that anymore. So it's just kind of nice to really think about not holding that massive camera while I'm shooting, and it's just so discreet for me now. And I just get to go out and shoot, point and shoot, and yeah, I love it. And engaging with my subjects is just a lot easier for me because I don't have to put this big lens in their face or body. But ever since I've been using the Lumix GX85, it's been amazing on my part, which I love. So eventually, when about 2 to 3 years in, I was really studying street photographers in general. And I was just looking at work, just constantly picking up photo books. And one person that really came to mind who really started motivating me was Bruce Gilden, who's based in New York City. And his work for me was just like very eye-catching, very different. He would point the camera right in their face. He's just very ruthless with the camera, and it just made me so excited to get out and shoot. Not like him, because he's just his own animal, his own being. But there's this one YouTube video after I picked up one of his first books. He was just going down Manhattan. He was just shooting corporate America and like all the busyness of life. And he was just getting right in front of their face with flash and talking back to them. And it was just a whole different animal, how he was engaging with his subjects. And he actually is not that nice about how he does street photography, which is just like kind of amazing because we are allowed to go do what we want out here and shoot who we want to shoot and see what we want to see. But for me, his book for me just really motivated me to, this is something I really want to do with like my career, and it's just taken me so far, especially with being in exhibitions and you know, getting coverage in books. And you know, here in Cincinnati, you know, they just came out with Photo Focus. Photo Focus is kind of like this lens-based culture for photographers, and I got some recent success with that, and I got to put up some work that I have been doing for 2 to 3 years when I first moved out to the Midwest, and you know, putting my work out on, like, you know, I had massive photos on the wall and I wanted to go big with it, and the success that I got from that was like unbelievable. You know, it makes me more than happy because I think about the guys who do it, and you know, Bruce Gilden really showed me how to just go out there and not be afraid of subjects and really engage. And right now I'm kind of diving into the works of Gary Winogrand. The way he travels with his work and the way he describes his work is just very intellectual for me. He really shows the composition behind his work, and that's what I'm really focusing on with myself right now, is what I can fit into the picture and what I can, seeing how I'm seeing subjects and what it's relaying to me and how I'm viewing it and what I want my viewers to see when I go out on the streets and what I'm doing, whether that be photojournalistic work or just a man, you know, kind of going on his day to work, which is just awesome to capture. You just never know where those photos can go. I will say though, the constant struggle of motivation is tough, especially with, you know, life as we know it. But you just go and go and go, and you push through it, and you just don't let it leave you. You get that kick always, and the kick just always motivates you to get out there, and no matter what happens, you know, your art will always be there for you. And it always sits with me, and you know, always sits that I want to go out and do and produce more art for the world and leave behind, you know, this legacy for the art community and for myself, and kind of change the course of my, you know, like my family's history as well. But this has been just such a journey, and when I look back at it, I want to keep doing it every single day. I want to go out there for hours and just shoot subjects and engage with them and learn about people and the history, and because it's just changing every day so fast, and the times are changing. When I look back at photos from the 60s, 70s, and 80s, I mean, it looked like something that I would be doing during that time as well, and that's what keeps me going to keep doing this for our generation and keeping it alive and leaving it with, you know, hopefully to be, you know, one of the greats. But that's definitely something that that I'll keep going and looking forward to.